Hi everyone, this is Crafty Decoria and I hope you're all doing great. So for today's Dollar Tree Craft with Me, I will be making a centerpiece. If you care to see how I put this together using all items from Dollar Tree, then keep on watching. Okay, so for the items here, I'll start with these 3 Dollar Tree ceramic birds. I also have 3 ceramic candle holders in the white. I have this Dollar Tree metal canister with the jute twine at the top there wrapped around. I have some burlap ribbon in the 9-foot length. I have a wired metal wreath. And originally I was going to make this specifically for spring, but I've changed my mind. Now I will be only painting the birds in the white so that if I want to use this all year, then I could just change out my decor on my wreath. But if you did want to make it specifically for spring, I originally was going to paint these in a yellow, pink, and blue, just mix it with the white to give it more of a pastel look. But instead I've decided to just use the Dollar Tree eggs and then decorate the wreath for the spring season. And then I also have Ready Board, and the glue that I will be using is my E6000 glue as well as my hot glue. And for the eggs, I will also need some of the magnetic buttons from the Dollar Tree, as that way I can easily attach them to my wreath and then switch them out as the seasons change. And that should be everything. So let's put this DIY together. I hope you enjoy. So to start off, I take my wire wreath ring and I trace it on my Ready Board. I then take my X-Acto knife and I cut it out. So now I take my burlap ribbon and I begin wrapping the wire wreath ring until it is completely covered. Here and there I'll take my hot glue and I add a little bit of glue just to make sure that the burlap ribbon is adhered nicely all together and it won't come apart. So now I take my Ready Board and I want it to sit inside of the back of the wired wreath ring. So I just take my scissors and trim it so that it fits nicely inside. Then I hot glue it in place, press, and let dry. So here I take my steel canister and I just eyeball the center. I trace it so that I know exactly where I need to put it, add my E6000 glue, and then I glue it in place. So this next part I thought I had recorded and I forgot to press the record button, so I'm just going to walk you through it. It's straightforward. So here, once I finished gluing my container, I turned the whole thing around and I took my 3 candlestick holders. I glued one single one to the Ready Board, and then I glued the second one to the Ready Board and then glued the third one on top of the second one so that I have layers for when I place my birds on top. So I did use E6000 glue to glue them all together, and now I'm going to let that dry. So now, taking my white acrylic paint from Dollar Tree, it's time to paint my birds. I did give them about 4 coats just to make sure that they were completely white and I didn't see any of the colored paint coming through from the birds. So once I was happy with how my birds looked, I took my E6000 glue, added it to the bottom of the birds, and then glued them to the top of the 2 candlestick holders, and then the third one I simply glued to the ready board. Now I take my magnetic buttons and I'm going to hot glue them to my Dollar Tree eggs. I also went ahead and added a couple more things to this centerpiece, and you will see that in the final reveal. A centerpiece for all seasons. Okay guys, so here is my Dollar Tree spring centerpiece, which again can be changed out seasonally. I love these birds. These have to be a favorite from the Dollar Tree for me. I just love that they're so chubby, and once they are painted in a solid color, they really do look nice and high end. I could have dry brushed a little bit of black on them or sanded them to give them more of a worn look, but I really just wanted them bright and white, and I think they look really nicely with the white candle holders. So here are my eggs. I added the magnets to all of them, which I love using the metal wire wreath ring because this way I can change the wreath out seasonally, and it is very simple to do so just by adding magnets to your items that you're placing on the wreath. So I do have 12 on here, and then I also took some Dollar Tree ferns and I just snipped off some of them and then added a magnet to that as well so I could add a little bit of greenery. And I love that they have the wire in them so that I could shape them nicely so that they overhang on the wreath. I think that looks so pretty. I also went ahead and added some Excelsior, and then below the Excelsior I added 1 copper wire LED wire strand, and I think it is just so pretty, especially when the lights are off. It just glows, and I will show you what that looks like when the lights are off. But I think this is very simple, very pretty, very easy to put together. And again, it is something that you can bring throughout the year and change seasonally as the seasons change. Well guys, that will do it for this Dollar Tree craft with me. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up, share the video if you can. It will greatly help my channel. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would absolutely love and appreciate it if you did. As always, guys, you take care of yourselves, and I hope to catch you in my next video. Bye for now.